Have you ever really stopped to think about the journey a product takes before it actually ends up in your hands? It's so much more than just putting pieces together. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole unseen world of manufacturing quality control. It's this complex, crucial system that really separates the great products from all the junk out there.
So let's start with a simple question. What even makes a product a quality product? I mean, you and I, we know it when we see it, right? It just works, it feels solid, it lasts. But for the people who actually make it, defining and then ensuring that quality, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a massive, massive undertaking.
But here's the thing. The real story isn't just about achieving quality. It's about what happens when quality is ignored. Because when things go wrong in a factory, a single tiny mistake can set off this huge domino effect with some pretty devastating results.
And this, right here, this is that domino effect in action. It's a total cascade of problems. First, you get defective products hitting the shelves. Then, of course, the customer complaints start rolling in. Before you know it, you're looking at hugely expensive product recalls. All of this means serious financial losses, and maybe the worst part of all, a damaged brand reputation that can take literally years, if not forever, to fix.
So, how in the world do manufacturers stop that nightmare scenario from happening? Well, it all starts at the very, very beginning. I'm talking before a single part is even made. This is the absolute foundation of the entire quality system. It's a step called incoming quality control, or IQC for short. And you can think of it like a really tough bouncer at the front door of the factory. Its only job is to make sure that only the good stuff, the high-quality materials, get inside. Because if you let bad materials in, you're just asking for a world of hurt later on.
And let me tell you, this is not just a quick once-over. Oh no. IQC is a super rigorous process. We're talking about teams checking every supplier document to make sure it all lines up. They're using super precise tools to measure dimensions down to a fraction of a millimeter. They're testing the physical properties of metals and scanning for any tiny hairline cracks. It is a meticulous, hardcore first line of defense.
Okay, so our good-to-go materials are in the building. Awesome. Now we head out onto the assembly line. And here, the whole game changes. The focus shifts from just keeping bad stuff out to actually catching problems in real time as they're happening.
This stage is called in-process quality control, or IPQC. And the magic word here is during. Instead of just waiting until the very end and hoping the product works, IPQC is all about building checks and inspections into every single step of the production process.
You know, I love how this slide just lays it out so clearly. IQC, that's the gatekeeper before production starts. Its whole goal is to keep bad materials from ever getting in. But IPQC, that's happening during production. Its goal is to spot errors the second they happen. They're two totally different stages, but they're both fighting for the exact same thing, a perfect product.
So what does this actually look like on the factory floor? Well, it could be an automated probe that's checking the depth of a hole right after it's drilled. Or maybe it's a high-speed camera making sure every single screw is perfectly seated on a circuit board. It could even be sensors that are constantly watching the temperature inside a plastic mold. It's all about constant, nonstop vigilance.
And the whole reason for all this work? It's simple, but it's absolutely crucial. By catching that one single component that's just a millimeter off, you stop it from being put into thousands and thousands of products down the line. It's about being proactive, not reactive, and it saves an unbelievable amount of waste and rework. All right, so our product has been built using quality materials and we've checked it at every step along the way. But it is not ready to go yet. Nope, it still has to pass one last, super comprehensive test. You could call it the final exam.
This is it, the final quality checkpoint where everything gets verified. First up, does it actually work? Does it do the thing it's supposed to do? Then, does it meet performance standards? Can it hold up under stress? And of course, does it look right? Are there any scratches or dents? And finally, is the packaging all correct and ready for shipping? It has to pass every single one.
And that's the bottom line. This is the absolute final gatekeeper. It's the last line of defense, protecting both the customer from getting a bad product and the company from ruining its reputation. A pass here is the only way that box gets sealed and sent out the door. So we've seen the process, right? But now let's talk about the cold, hard cash. Because investing in all this quality control isn't just a nice idea, it's a financial necessity. The cost of failure is just incredibly, incredibly high.
So what about all those products that don't pass the final exam? They can't just throw them away, or can they? Well, these failed products, they enter a whole other process, and it's a really costly and wasteful one.
So, the first thing they might try to do is rework it. That means spending even more time and more labor trying to fix whatever's wrong. If it's beyond repair, well, it gets scrapped, thrown out. A total loss of all the material and effort that went into it. And in many cases, they still have to make a brand new unit from scratch to replace it. Every single one of those options costs a ton of money. In this chart, wow, this really shows you where the money just bleeds out. Look at that. A whopping 40% of the cost comes from just the wasted materials alone. Then you pile on another 30% for the extra labor, 20% for wasted machine time. It even accounts for the cost of delayed deliveries. It all adds up so fast.
But here's what I really want you to take away from all this. As high as all those internal costs are, they are nothing compared to the cost of letting a defective product actually reach a customer, because that's when you lose trust. And customer trust is the most valuable and the most fragile asset any company will ever have. Okay, so let's bring it all home. Let's recap the core structure, the pillars that hold up a product's quality from the very beginning all the way to the very end. Here they are, the 4 pillars. You start with incoming QC to make sure your materials are good. You continue with in-process QC to catch mistakes as they happen. You finish with final testing to guarantee the end product is perfect. And all of that is built on the idea of managing rejection costs, which is really just a fancy way of saying preventing defects to save money and, most importantly, trust. And when all of those pillars are standing strong, the results are just so clear. You get consistent quality in your products, you create way less waste, your customers are happier, they're more loyal, and all of that helps you build a powerful, trusted brand that people can rely on. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you pick up your phone or you open your laptop or get in your car, just take a second. Think about that unseen journey it went on. Think about all the checks, all the tests, and all the people who verified it along the way, all just to make sure that the quality you expect is the quality you actually get.